Yo, what's good with you? Back in black with another Enlisted video. If you guys are new to the channel and you love shooting games just like me, make sure you aim for that like button and shoot that subscribe button as well. It'll help you find better teammates and it'll improve your skill-based matchmaking. I do want to apologize for my lack of getting videos out this week. Reason being is because, as you can see, my headset kind of is having some technical difficulties, but I kind of just bit the bullet and figured it would be okay as long as I showed you guys my good side, for lack of better words. But I do got a new headset coming later this week, so should be back on the road with that. Other than that, I do have a lot of stuff to cover today, coming from ranging from a couple of Enlisted articles to actually a boycott that was going on, which I honestly only learned about a couple of days ago through your boy Quadro, which I'm sure a lot of you guys know who he is as well, a pretty renowned Enlisted creator trying to get up there like he is. But yeah, let's go ahead and get right into the news. I won't waste too much of your time. Coming in at level 39 for the Battle of Moscow, we are receiving the T-34 tank, which is really good tank. A lot better than a lot of the tanks you could get in the Moscow campaign, especially in 1941. This guy, the T-34, was a workhorse. Of course, the Germans are going to match up with the Panzer IV F2, sporting that 75mm gun, which is also super effective against those Russian vehicles. Also, for level 39 in the invasion of Normandy, we are receiving the M18 GMC, and we are also receiving the Panzer IV 70V, which is one of those tanks that have a very much so reduced turning radius, but also a very strong cannon. So be wary of that and angle your tank and set it up as good as you can. Moving on to the part of the update that I'm sure a lot of you guys hate, including myself. We got some new premium squads coming in. Of course, these will give you 100% extra experience when you are using them. So to those of you who don't mind spending money and want to level up faster through use of particular squads, this is the best way to do so. The Americans, basically the UD M42, which is a very accurate submachine gun with very little recoil. That's pretty much the main draw of that premium squad. Of course, they will come with an engineer as well to help you keep yourself supplied and build structures. Germans, on the other hand, are getting a premium squad that is sporting the rare Italian TZ45 submachine gun. A lot of these guns I haven't heard of, so if I have to give them credit in one aspect, it will be that they will take all the World War II weaponry and bring you weapons that you never heard of in the entirety or tenure of you playing video games or World War II video games in general. So I do applaud them for that. It's just a simple fact that it's a premium squad, so if you're not spending money, you're not going to get a chance to use it, which I'll get into why I think that is such a big deal later in the video. But moving on down, Battle of Berlin at level 37, we are getting the RD-44, which is the precursor to the RPD, which is basically a drum magazine fed machine gun, which is very, very OP. I think is much needed for the Russians though, because when you think about the MG34 with the Pantranamo magazine and the MG42 in general, they need something that can stack up or matchup wise. So there's that. Germans, on the other hand, are getting the MG15 with the double magazine. It's going to be another machine gun with 75 bullets. We already have the Pantranamo, so not much of a huge difference there, but we all know Germany is superior when it comes to machine guns in World War II, so take that for what you will. Moving on down, we got some more premium squads, but this is vehicles this time instead of infantry. This is also for the Battle of Berlin. The Russians are getting the Su-100, which is substantially more powerful than the previous Su-85. But I'm not really a fan of those tanks that make it very difficult for you to turn left or right with your turret. So take that for what you will. It's going to be one of those tanks that just have a really big gun. Germans, on the other hand, are getting a Panther platform, the Royal Tiger, which same concept as the Su-100, just one of those turrets that you can't necessarily turn very far to the left or right. So a lot of how you play with that vehicle is going to have to be predicated on positioning and setting yourself up for success. Moving on to the Battle of Tunisia, level 36, we have some new vehicles coming in, planes to be precise. We have the A-20G25, 12 deadly M8 rockets. I mean, planes are kind of on the back burner nowadays. They used to be super OP, so I'm not going to sit up here and say I'm super looking forward to it. But for all you War Thunder migrants who are big fans of planes and tanks, I'm sure you will enjoy this, even though vehicles aren't necessarily as strong as they used to be. The Italians, on the other hand, are getting the Fiat G55, which comes with 4 12.7 millimeter machine guns. That's the same caliber of machine guns that we are now getting on the ground with the heavy machine guns or the heavy caliber update. Moving on, we have some premium infantry squads for the Tunisia campaign as well. We have the Australians coming in with the Owen Mark 1 in Tunisia, which I guess I forgot that they were in Africa as well, because that is news to me. But the Germans, on the other hand, are getting armed with the Irma EMP-36, which is an in-between variant of the EMP-35 and the MP-40. And if you know anything about the MP-40, you know that's going to be a good gun. So I don't know if I'm going to buy it, but I am looking forward to maybe picking one gun up off the ground or something of that nature. Moving on to the Battle of Stalingrad at level 30, we are getting the BM-41, which is a 50 millimeter mortar. It's a really big mortar, if I do say so myself. Let's see, the Germans are also getting a mortar that is also 50 millimeters. I don't know if people really use mortars like that, so I'm not gonna dwell on it too much. They're okay. I mean, if you really want to use one of your squad spots on that, more power to you. Got some more premium vehicles coming in on this is for Stalingrad. The Russians are getting the Su-76, which is a 76 millimeter SPG. Germans, on the other hand, are getting the KV-1, which has a 105 millimeter gun. I mean, I'm not a tank enthusiast, so I can't really go into too much detail. Of course, when I put these screenshots up, you can read into it a little bit more if you want to, but they're just really strong tanks in a nutshell, so do with that information what you will. Moving on to the Pacific War, for level 27 to 29, for the Americans, we are getting the M3 Stuart with the flamethrower. I think it's been a long time coming. I'm surprised it didn't come out when the Pacific campaign launched to begin with, because flamethrower tanks in that theater of war are very prevalent, or at least very iconic and very novel, so players want to see that. Japanese, on the other hand, are getting the Kami, which is another one of their I guess this tank is renowned for its small size and maneuverability, but it only has a 37 millimeter cannon, so not too excited about it. Premium squads for the Pacific campaign, we are getting some new planes. We got the Boomerang Mark II, which is a plane that I have actually never heard of, so I might actually I don't know, I'm still not going to spend no money, especially on a plane, but that does look very interesting, and I am looking forward to seeing more of those flying around in the sky. Japan, on the other hand, is getting the Ki 61 I High fighter, or I don't know. They got some weird names or specifications for these, but it will have two 20 millimeter MG151 machine guns, or cannons, I should say, and then it will also have two 12.7 Ho 103 machine guns as well, and come with two 100 kilogram bombs, which is actually a pretty good loadout, pretty good arsenal. Only thing I would say is missing is some rockets, but can't make the planes too OP, because then we would just be going back in time as far as the updates are concerned, where planes were super annoying, but now it's just artillery strikes and whatnot that are super annoying. But let's see, moving on down, blah blah blah. Yeah, that's pretty much it for all the new campaign levels that we are getting. What I would like to do is transition into the bulk of the update, which they just released the article for yesterday. So for the main part of this update, a lot of what they're doing in this article is reiterating stuff that they have previously said, or stuff that I have previously covered in a video before. So I just want to kind of skim through everything and mention what is new or what is most notable. So bear with me here. As you guys know, with this high caliber update, one of the main features that they were touting is the introduction of heavy machine gun emplacements instead of light machine gun emplacements, featuring 12.7 millimeter machine guns. Of course, these are going to do more damage, tear through more stuff, stuff, and you can shoot down light vehicles and planes with this as well. One of the other new features is a new map in the Stalingrad campaign, which, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the lower population campaigns in the game. So I think the reason that they are introducing this map is to bolster the numbers for that Stalingrad campaign in particular, since again that is one of the least popular campaigns. And the reason that is because, you know, it's kind of just how they went about doing the full access pack for that, which I think they learned their lesson with the Pacific campaign. But in the same respect, it's like, man, guys, you guys gotta do better with the progression and just like how you handle the game in general if you want the population to continue to increase exponentially. So again, I will talk about that a little later. So they added that new map for Stalingrad, the tractor factory. Really big map. I'm sure a lot of people will enjoy it. I'll probably try to play it, but I typically steer clear of the Stalingrad campaign in general. Phosphorus grenades have been added to the invasion of Normandy and the Battle of Tunisia. And remote explosives and bomber airstrikes will also be available in all campaigns, of course. Tankers now have the ability to shoot smoke shells and defensive smoke charges from their tanks, and mortarmen are also equipped with smoke rounds as well to cover allied maneuvers. So if you're getting mowed down, definitely want to consider using as much smoke as possible. They're basically making smoke way more useful as I guess tactical you know, use, or something that you can use on the battlefield, which I actually appreciate, because smoke usually goes, you know, underutilized or underappreciated in most games. Moving on, let's see. Tankers now, blah blah blah. In Moscow, Normandy, Berlin, customization for your soldiers is now available. I already covered that in a previous video, so I won't say much else about that. New type of weapon has been added: heavy machine guns, blah blah blah. Premium machine gunner squads. Improved mechanism for mounting weapons on bipods or against supports. I am in support of this change as well, because I found mounting to be quite useless in most situations. I don't want them to turn it into like a Call of Duty type of thing where most people are mounted, or, you know, they're providing challenges for mounting up on stuff, because that just encourages camping. But nevertheless, I do appreciate them working on the mechanics of the game and making it more fluid and more usable, generally speaking. All the new weapons, we got the Fedorov, MG42 early version. Sure, that's not a difference. I already went over a lot of this. Number 77 phosphorus grenades, customization, new knife models for the USA, Germany, Italy, Britain, and Japan. They have new axe models as well. Added new models for the vehicle repair kits. Updated the Type 97 anti-tank rifle to be more authentic. Japanese radio is more authentic as well. What else? It seems like they're just improving a bunch of the aesthetics of the game with this as well. Increase the effectiveness of the BM41 heavy mortars against vehicles by increasing armor penetration. Also, they're making mortars better against vehicles and tanks, so keep that in mind as well. Added AI bomber airstrikes in all campaigns. Bombers are kind of OP. I guess they're just about to get spammed now, and I don't think people are going to like that. Increase the interval time between calling in AI bomber strikes. Oh, that's good. So maybe they won't get spammed as much. Increase the interval time, blah blah blah. Reduce the structural strength of AI bombers radio. Oh, so they are weaker. You can shoot them down easier now. So I guess that gives you a little more incentive to use planes. If you hear a bombers are coming in, you can actually, you know, divert from whatever you're doing and help your team out by shooting down a couple of them. Added the ability to equip US tankers with the M1E5 Garand rifle. Whatever. Reduce the cooldown time for stationary machine guns. I appreciate this because I like to use stationary machine guns, and I feel like the overheat time is horrible. Of course, there's that little tip that we also heard from Quadro where you can destroy it and then rebuild it, and then the cooldown time will go away automatically. But of course, with this buff to the cooldown times, you might not even need to do that anymore. So the MG42 is going from 34-second cooldown to 16.7 seconds. MG34 is going from 30 seconds to 13 seconds. Maxim is going from 35 to 11 seconds. The 30 cal is going from 40-second cooldown to 10-second cooldown. Oh my god, that's a godsend. That's much better. And the Type 92 heavy machine gun is going from 30 seconds to 8 seconds. And that's good because the Japanese light machine gun emplacement is horrible and I hate using it. That iron sight is trash. Small little minutia things going on here. They have added new locations and missions to a lot of the campaigns in the game, but it's not like we're necessarily getting new maps besides that tractor plant that was introduced with the Stalingrad campaign. We also have some updates to the animations and sounds. We have new sprint animations with several variations, new holding posture. They've added music themes to the beginning of a battle, which I think is a nice feature. You know, make it a little more theatric and immersive, for lack of better words, if that makes any sense. Added progress sound effects when capturing points. I like that as well. Just making the game have more, like, what's the word I want to use, like flavor and character and pizzazz, for lack of better words. Visual effects. Improved the length of the flamethrower effect when firing it into a wall, blah blah blah. Added new effects for aircraft damage. New effects when planes hit the water, when bullets hit the water. Basically, they have a lot of new water effects and new fire effects and smoke effects in general. So I guess they're making the game look better, for lack of better words. They have improved the replays a little bit. You can now change the speed of the camera with the mouse. Well, it doesn't even have anything to do with console, so it doesn't really matter to me until they add cross progression, which is something that I have been advocating for the longest. I hope somebody is hearing me over there at Darkfloor or Gaijin and considering implementing such things into the game, because that is also something that will improve the I guess the player population, if you will, without telling people they're stuck on the platform that they choose to play on if they ever decide to upgrade or anything of that nature. They've also changed some of the controls, improved the controls for starting a charge with a melee. Actions have been split into a short hit and a long charge action. The destruction and repair was limited to switch actions. Basically, for repairing something or destroying something, you only have to tap the button instead of holding it. I guess that's pretty convenient. And then we just have a bunch of other improvements and whatnot, which will take too long for me to go over, so I won't do anything, but I will flash them on the screen so you guys can take a look at them as well, because again, it is a lot of stuff going on here. For the last little bit of this video, what I wanted to talk about was the news of the boycotting or the protesting, if you will, that is going on with this game right now. And quite frankly, I didn't even hear about it until like a day or two ago, so it was the news to me for the most part. But yeah, as it turns out, with a lot of the monetization practices that this game implements, it is causing a lot of players to resent the game in a sense, or maybe not resent the game, but kind of feel very, very unsatisfied with it, not in a gameplay aspect, but more so in just how they're handling their customer base or their consumers, people who purchase these games and put the time into it and support the company, if you will. I think a lot of people, including myself, sometimes feel like we're getting the short end of the stick, because it seems like a lot of what they want to focus on, instead of just improving the overall quality of the game, which they have done, I'm not going to lie, it just seems like a lot of the time is going into premium squad this, premium vehicle that, and it's just this it's just like a marketplace, if you will, instead of like playing one of the most fun and immersive and just really good World War II shooters that strike that balance between like super hardcore simulation and super casual like Call of Duty would be on the other side. This game is very unique, and it strikes a really good middle ground, so I know why it appeals to a lot of people. It even has that brothers in arms kind of aspect where you can command your squad around, which you don't get that a lot in a lot of games. So I know the appeal is there, and I know why people play this game. I know why people love it. It's one of the many reasons, or many of the many reasons, that I enjoy this game as well. It's just the simple fact that it's like they're trying to squeeze as much money out of you as possible, and for some people that might not be a problem. The whales, for lack of better words. Even I have bought a couple of premium squads here and there, especially in the past when the game was had more novelty to me, and I just wanted to rank up as fast as possible, which is another thing. Like, not only are you adding all these exclusive premium guns that we have never seen before in a World War II game, but you're adding it to a premium squad, so it's like you have to pay money in order to get access and even use these things that we have never seen before, these awesome vehicles, these awesome weapons. It's all locked behind a paywall. And if it's not locked behind a paywall that is like outright like, hey, pay this $20 to $50 and you can use said item, it's locked behind this absurdly long grind. And it's like, I understand we buy this game to grind, but nobody wants to have to put 200 hours into a single campaign in order to finish one faction, not both of them, just one faction. So that's just like, in a sense, when you think about it or break it down like that, I can see why people are frustrated. But in another sense, like, I'm just playing devil's advocate here and looking at it from both sides. I understand that this game was released for free and people want to make money. It's just like, the way that you guys go about doing it is is at the detriment of the game. And I don't really look too much into the player numbers, or I don't try to do any research or anything like that. But what I do know, and what I'm sure a lot of you guys know as well, is that none of these games are ever filled to the brim with players, or very rarely are they ever filled to the brim with players. You will only experience that when one of the, like, an update like recently, like when that comes out, or like if an event is out, or if there's a really good reward that is being offered for playtime, then yeah, you might run into a full game here or there. And even then, that's not too often. It may be like 8 on 8 or something of the sort. So yeah, man, it's just I mean, you guys can make money, I get it, I understand, but it's like the prices are too absurd. And quite frankly, while I do think this is a game of high quality, I don't like this. It's not like this is an indie game or anything of the sort. I don't think this is the like cream of the crop when it comes to like pristine AAA gaming. So I think it's a little absurd for you to charge, like, I'm just thinking like the Berlin Access Pack way back, you know, earlier in the year in April, they charged me $50 for that junk, bruh. And yes, dual magazine MP40 is amazing, don't get me wrong. Like, I love using it, I use it to this day and whenever I play that campaign. But it's like $50, bro, for a game that's in beta. And like, for you know what I'm saying, like, the game has come a long way even since then. And it's like, as they get more players, it's not like anything is getting cheaper. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a matter of like, how many premium squads can we put out? What's the most unique thing that we can put behind the paywall? And if we can't put it behind the paywall, we're gonna make it level 37 in the campaign. So to that guy that's level 1 and just starting out and only has bolt action rifles, if you want to use that automatic machine gun way down the line, you're gonna have to put in that 350 hours, which only the most avid of fans of your game, or the most avid of World War II fans in general, which I am, would be willing to do something like that. And I just, you know, the FPS, the first person shooter market is too casual, bro, especially when it comes to World War II shooters. Like, you're getting into, it used to be the majority, like all games were World War II shooters, but now that's turning into more of a niche market. So I think it would just be more beneficial to this game and to the company in general if they would just like focus on not being so egregious with their monetization practices, and more so just focus on fleshing the game out with as much content as possible. And yes, there is things that you can make paid, like you have to pay for it, but I think there should be a hard cap, maybe like $20, $25, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even see Call of Duty makes money hand over fist when it comes to microtransactions, and I don't even see them charging as much as Gaijin and these people do charge for some of these vehicles and weapons or squads that I am coming across. And it's just it's a little crazy. So when I take a step back and look at it from that aspect, I very much so understand why people are boycotting. This game is very egregious, and it's like they will take a sumo wrestler and sit on your wallet and squeeze all the money out if they can, and if you let them. So I actually applaud the players like who organize this and like are kind of putting their foot down. I think we should do this across a lot of games, AAA gaming in general, because the more we let these people like charge us, and the more we let them nickel and dime us and still support the game at the same time, the more they're going to keep doing it. And I like this game, but I also like, you know, not being broke. And you know, I don't want to have to put 300 hours into one campaign. I like the game, I want to level up. Can we be reasonable about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little crazy to me. So I get it. I get the boycotting. I get the protesting. Is it going to work? I'm not 100% sure. I don't even know how effective it was in these last couple of days, or yesterday I should say, since that's when we were supposed to be boycotting. I did not play yesterday. What you're looking at is obviously old gameplay, but you know, I just wanted to go over both of those updates and then kind of talk about why Enlisted is in the state that it is, where it's like, it's a good game and it has so much potential, but like a lot of things, it falls victim to greed, and greed will destroy something from the inside out very slowly, or at the very least they'll try to make it as slow of a downfall as possible, because I'm sure, you know, they just want to milk the game for as much money as possible, like they do with War Thunder. But this isn't War Thunder, bro. This is a FPS game, whole different crowd of people. Again, I know we got your War Thunder migrants coming over, but it's just not the same. I don't think that monetization practice that you guys are used to is going to work with this game. And I really implore you guys as a company to consider something that is not as egregious and oppressive on your consumer base, because this game could be doing a lot better than it is, especially because you don't even have to stick to World War II. I've seen you guys add modern events before, so like if you can expand into that as well, I'm sure you would draw even more of a crowd. So just a little food for thought. I know this is a super long video, but I just had to catch up and talk about everything that has been going on. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comment section as far as the updates, the new vehicles, the new weapons, all that jazz. Let me know what you guys are thinking about the boycott. Did you guys boycott? Are you still playing the game? Whatever the case may be, just, you know, let me know about it down in the comment section, because this is a little peculiar and very interesting to me. I like this game very much and I want to see it succeed, and it kind of makes me sad, you know, seeing stuff like this, or seeing the game go downhill, especially when the animations are getting better, the graphics are getting better, you're getting more stuff in the game. It's like, damn, why y'all gotta be so greedy? But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I appreciate you guys for watching. Black guy out.